Types of cake formula. Introduction. The rich history of cakes dates to various ancient civilizations, and their recipe has undergone significant evolution over time. Cake have a long and interesting history that goes back to ancient times. The way people make cakes has changed a lot over the years. Different cultures and society added their own ideas to the recipe, making it evolve. So, the cakes we have today are the result of a rich history of changes and improvements over a long time. So, cake. This name is given to a variety of baked sweet items often served as a dessert or at tea or coffee time, usually made from a mixture of flour, sugar, fat, and eggs. So what is the cake formula? It is an accurate record of the quantities of the raw materials necessary to make a particular type of cake. So it's like a detailed plan that tells you exactly how much flour, sugar, and other ingredients you should use to bake a specific kind of cake. It also said here that bakery being the science that it is, we refer to the recipe as a formula. So it's like a special set of instructions, almost like a scientific equation that guides the precise measurements needed to create a specific baked item. So let's proceed. We are now going to cake making ingredients. So first is the essential ingredients. It refers to the fundamental components or elements necessary for the creation or functioning of something. So it means when we talk about the essential ingredients, it's about basic things needed to make something or make it work properly. So when we are going to create or to make a cake, we need these essential ingredients for us to have finished products. So first is flour. It is the backbone of cake's composition, and bakers generally prefer cake flour. So flour is like the main support of a cake, and many bakers like using cake flour for this purpose. So we all know that we have a lot of kinds or types of flour, but when we are going to make a cake, we need to use cake flour. These are the example of cake flour. Next is sugar, and its main function is to add sweetness and retain moisture to our cake. And this is the example of sugar. Next is fats and shortening. So these are considered as both moisturizers and tenderizers. So these are the examples of fats and shortening. Next is the eggs. Whole eggs contain proteins that helps to form the structure of the cake. And these are the example of eggs. And now, let's proceed to optional ingredients. So, these are components of a recipe that are not essential to the basic structure of or flavor of the dish. So, as parts of some of these are parts of a recipe that you can choose to include, but they aren't necessary for the main structure to taste of the dish or taste of the dish. So first is the milk. So it is prepared over water for blending, dissolving, and distributing ingredients in cake batters. Next is leavening. So typically, formulas will use chemical leavens such as baking powder or baking soda. Now, we're going to proceed to leavening methods, and there are 3 leavening methods that we're going to discuss. First is foaming. It is whipping the air into the sugar and eggs mixture. Next is creaming. It is the action of mechanically incorporating air into sugar and fat mixtures that the eggs are added in stages. And lastly is the chemical leavening, which is the baking soda and natural acid or sour milk or buttermilk plus liquid equals to carbon dioxide. And now, we are going to proceed to our example cakes. So, first is the sponge cakes. So, our light, rich cake made with egg whites. So, it is a type of light and airy cake. Airy cake that gets volume from whipped. It typically contains flour, sugar, and eggs, and lacks of butter or oil, resulting in a delicate texture. So these are the recipe or the ingredients that we are going to use when we are going to make sponge cake. So first is 4 large eggs, 1 cup granulated sugar. In dry ingredients, 1 cup all-purpose flour, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and liquids, 2 tablespoons of melted butter, 2 tablespoons of hot water, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Next is angel food cake. Contain little or no fat. The leavening is accomplished by foaming a sugar and egg mixture and lightly folding in the sifted flour. So, angel food cake is a light and fluffy cake made with whipped egg whites, sugar, and flour. It is known for its airy texture and lack of butter or egg yolks. The cake is often baked in a tube pan and has a sweet, slightly spongy consistency. So these are the ingredients or recipe of angel food cake. So first is 1 1/2 cup of egg whites, 1 teaspoon cream of tartar, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1/2 teaspoon of almond extract, 1 1/2 cups, 1 1/4 cups of cake flour, 1 3/4 cups of white sugar, and lastly is 1/4 teaspoon salt. Next is Genoese cake. It is a sponge cake with melted butter folded in at the last stage. So Genoese cake is a type of sponge cake that originates from Italy. So it's characterized by a light and airy texture achieved through the incorporation of whipped eggs. So Genoese is often used as base for various desserts and is known for its versatility. Unlike some other sponge cake, Genoese typically includes melted butter in its ingredients, contributing to its richness and flavor. So these are the ingredients or recipe for our Genoese cake. So first is 1 cup sifted cake flour, 2 tablespoons white sugar, 1 pinch salt, 2 tablespoons unsalted butter, melted, 4 eggs, 1/2 cup white sugar, and 1 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And lastly is the chiffon cake. Cakes are a type of sponge cake. So, chiffon cake is a type of light and moist cake that combines characteristics of both sponge and butter cakes. It includes vegetable oil, which gives it a tender texture, and beaten egg whites for a fluffy consistency. So chiffon cake chiffon cakes are known for being soft, airy, and versatile, often used as a base for various desserts. And here's the ingredients or the recipe for making chiffon cake. So first is 2 cups sifted cake flour, 1 1/2 cups white sugar, 1 tablespoon cake powder, 1 teaspoon salt, 7 large eggs, separated, divided, 3/4 cup of cold water, 1/2 cup of vegetable oil, 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon of lemon extract, and 1/2 teaspoon of cream of tartar.